What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone. And we have a tough game. We play Cremonese away, who are having a very good season, are actually almost on level points as us. And so it's not going to be easy. They don't lose games that easily. They make it tough for teams. And we're without, excuse me, Kenan Yildiz. He's not really injured. It's just load management, they say. So they're basically saying he needs a rest. We're without Lloyd Kelly, who I cannot believe I'm going to say this, but we're going to miss Lloyd Kelly. We are going to miss Lloyd Kelly because he plays a vital role in this back line right now. Because to be honest, he's been our most consistent defender this season. I'm not including Bremer in there because he's injured again. But I don't think he had bad moments like Kalulu had bad moments, or Regatti had bad moments, etc. Or Cambiasso had bad moments to that extent. So he's also out, and you're going to need to deal with it. It's the first game for Spalletti. He had one training session yesterday, and that was, I don't even know if that really was a training session, to be honest. So again, it's a tough situation for him because you're not playing an easy team away from home. Whatever you can say about Cremonese, and you need to beat Cremonese, but they're no mugs. You're not going to go to Cremona and you're going to beat Cremonese with great ease, because nobody is beating Cremonese with great ease. They make it very tough for opponents. They play rigid games. They play close games. It's nothing like nothing will be given to you, handed to you today. We're gonna need to fight for it, and yeah, you're gonna need to fight without Kenan Yildiz, who's a big part of what we try to do. But even today, I think still are trying to do, because again, Spalletti is not gonna come in today and gonna make 1,000 changes or have any impact on this squad. He will have no impact on this squad. This game, if we win it, it will have nothing to do with Spalletti winning it today. It has all to do with the players showing up yet again, like they did against Udinese, showing that drive, that fight, determination, even if it's not good all of the time, just the intent that you want to win that game and you want to rectify, the bad moments you had. That is what the players are going to need to show. Otherwise, you're not going to do anything really today, because Spalletti is not going to fix that back line in one training. He's not going to make our midfield click. He's not going to make our attack be clinical or click, etc., based on 3 hours in the training ground and maybe 2 hours in front of a monitor doing some tactical stuff. So again, it will all come down to the players. So no Yildiz and no Kelly. They're both out. Thuram is back. That's good news. So I'm assuming he's going to play again with Vlahovic and David up top. I think it is, because the rumored lineups are a bit all over the place right now. Like they're all guessing. I think that's really clear. Some have a feeling, like I have a feeling, that he's not going to change a lot in the lineup, Spalletti, and some have an opinion that he is going to change quite a few things, especially now that Kenan Yildiz is not with the team and Kelly is out. Now the Kelly thing, you can maybe say, okay, you know what, you play Rugani or you play whoever. However, when it comes to the Yildiz one, we don't have a lot of options. You're going to need to find a solution to that, and I think the solution, in my opinion, is going to play. Is playing with that, front two. Also, because in this presser yesterday, he talked about Koopmeiners and he said he cannot play in certain positions he has been playing for us. He said, Gasperini, fantastic job that you made it work with Koopmeiners in those positions, but he cannot really play in those positions. So I'm not going to believe that today he wakes up and he's like, you know what, Koopmeiners, I'm going to play you behind the strikers because that will be, well, going against everything he basically said in his presser, So he's not going to do that. I don't believe he's going to do. I don't believe he's going to do that. So on that premises, excuse me, I'm assuming he's going to make certain changes that are very limited, and not going to do too much, not going crazy, just doing just about enough to tweak the stuff that need to be tweaked because of forced injuries, absences, whatever you want to call it. And that's about it. Again, we need to win. We desperately need a win today. There's no ifs or buts. We need to win, and we need a win on Tuesday as well against Sporting. They're vital moments. Because, again, I think Milan play Roma this weekend. If you want to stay around that top four, you need to take advantage of these things, because I keep saying it, like I said a couple of weeks ago, we play Inter at home. We played Atalanta at home for now. You played Lazio away from home. I get it. The tough games need to come. They still are waiting for us, those tough games, and we drop points in games that you shouldn't be dropping points. You shouldn't be dropping points that easily. It can happen, but Verona, Como, almost back to back, it's too much, and you cannot really recover from that. If on top of that you drop points against the Cremonese, that means you need to go on an insane run against the top 5 or 6. You're going to need to start beating them all, home and away, to make up for these things if you keep dropping points against these teams. So that's why it's important. You need to have that good feel factor. You cannot just go away from it. We actually need, a win to actually say, okay, Udinese was not a fluke, excuse me. It was something that was proven that we can do, and now we need to build on that. Vlahovic, for example, that cannot be a fluke against Udinese. You're going to need to show it again. Otherwise, everyone will start looking at you sideways, where it's like you just show up whenever you want. You just switch on and off, basically. That cannot happen as well. Cambiasso had a good second half. You're going to need to confirm that. You cannot have hot and cold moments again. That cannot be the case. It needs to be consistent. It needs to start being consistent for a lot of these players. That, I think, is the key. And whatever you did against Udinese is fine, but it means squad. If you don't do that against Cremonese, if you don't do that against Sporting, if you don't bring that to Torino going to international break, it means extremely little if you just fluke it. You're hot and cold and you're good one day, and like Gattuso says, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Like, it cannot happen. It cannot happen. It's gonna come down again to these guys showing up. It has very little to do with Spalletti with one training session. Will Vlahovic have that good game again? Will Cambiasso be consistent, etc.? Will we be clinical for once and put games away? Because yes, we won against Udinese, but there were 2 pens, and the Gatti one, it's not really a set piece, but it comes basically from a set piece, So, and again, we did create enough opportunities, chances to put them away, but we're not clinical. That you need to improve going into the Cremonese game 100%. Those are going to be, I think, the most important questions that we're going to need to ask ourselves, excuse me, and that's going to determine if we're going to have, something good under Spalletti, yes or no. It needs to set up. This game sets up Spalletti's, in my opinion, um, next couple of weeks. Because again, it's Sporting, couple of days Torino, and then 2 weeks break where half the team is traveling across the world. So confirm the good things against Udinese and build on that. That's all I have to say. My prediction is I'm gonna be I'm gonna say 1-0, an ugly 1-0 win, but whatever. We take it and somehow we leave with it. That's my prediction. Your prediction, put that in the comment sections and we will discuss it. And then post game, obviously, match reaction as always. Ciao.